everybody, welcome to the Funny Won't Stop podcast here at the Funny Stop Comedy Club. Today I have with me our headliner for this weekend, Mr. Jim Florentine. How's it going, Jim?
What's going on, man?
Jim, you'll know him from VH1's That Metal Show, Crank Yankers, a voice for Special Ed and several other characters on the show. He's been in movies such as Beer League, Trainwreck. Basically, I just read his profile online, but I got questions. So,
all right.
This is a kind of, this isn't a huge podcast. This is basically a kind of get to know the headliners for the club.
Right.
That I put out a couple times a month. So, actually, my big question is for Crank Yankers, which I actually didn't watch a lot of the show up until maybe about a year ago. Like when it was out there, I never really watched it at all. But I love it. I find it hilarious. But now, weren't they going to, or if they haven't already, were they going to start it again?
They did start it again. It was on from like 2002 to 2007. It got canceled, and then 2018 they brought it back. So it's been back. Maybe 2019 they brought it back. So it's been back for the last 3 years.
Now, are you involved?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, my biggest question is: now, do you still do special ed with the new, with the reiteration?
Yeah.
Was there any kind of honestly pushback to that character or
None.
anything like that?
Why would there be?
Well, that lies the question. Nowadays, obviously, a lot of people get blowback for just about anything that's...
Yeah, but those people don't watch the show.
And that's why, because that's just the thing. It seems like a lot of the people who, we're talking cancel culture, stuff like that, people will jump in and be like, well, I don't like this, but then it's like, well, are you just not liking it because you heard about it, you haven't actually watched the show or actually brought in the material and actually got a chance to enjoy it? So, yeah, actually, that's a little surprising that there hasn't been or wasn't any pushback on that character.
It's not like Cleveland where they changed the name of their baseball team. So, they kowtow it. So, not everybody does that. Not everybody's like Cleveland and gives up a name that's had the tradition for 110 years. So.
What do you think if the Indians win the World Series this year?
They won't.
I mean, yeah, but
they're not gonna. No, I mean, I'm gonna go to the game tomorrow actually. But no, they're not gonna win. But no, it's just it obviously affected attendance. It was the lowest attendance it's had since 1992.
Yeah,
it obviously pissed off some fans. Like,
you're
kidding me? Because nobody was really offended. Who's offended by the word Indians? Like, how was that offensive?
Well, that's just the thing.
No, but you're listening to 50 people that don't watch baseball, sending emails or whatever, and on Twitter bitching about it. But they're not even fans. They wouldn't come to the stadium anyway. They're not even fans. So why even listening to them?
Oh no, I understand that. And my thing is with the name. It's like I could have actually took it or left it. I had no stake in the game. I'll watch them no matter what. But it's just the arguments on both sides were just very interesting and sometimes also very contrived, so, and ultimately I don't like the name they chose. I had several others that I would have liked way better than...
Well, I like the one that they used to have. There's nothing wrong with that.
Now back to Crank Yankers. So, what would be your from the original from 2007? I mean 2002 to 2007. The first, I would say, the first iteration of it. What was your favorite character to do? Was it Special Ed, or was there any particular?
I do the Special Ed and Bobby Fletcher. Those are the two characters I do. So it's pretty much the same. We picked up 11 years later when the show came back with the same, type of humor and same characters. So you do that, that character. Bobby Fletcher is just me. Mm-hmm. My voice is just with a different name, and the Special Ed is Special Ed. But no, nothing really changed over the years.
How did you pick who you were going to call, or we
just come up with an idea and then we just call.
And did you say, hey, there's a location we want to call and prank, or was it just kind of random?
No, that's just them. They do the research on it. We come up with an idea, like Special Ed's going to call a YMCA pool and mess around saying that he peed in the pool or something. Then we just, the research people get a bunch of YMCA numbers around the country. So we have them in front of us so that we can call, so it makes it easier.
Now, the one episode I actually wanted to talk about was the donut shop episode.
Right.
Now, when you call them, at any point after the phone call or anything like that, are they let in on what's going on, or is it just you call, you do the bit, and then that's it. They don't have any knowledge that, you know, it was part of a show or anything like that.
No, they have no idea it's part of a show, because then it's not a prank.
Well, I just don't know, like, the legalities of that, or if they have to.
No, they wouldn't do the show then. I mean, it's like, that's only regular radio. That's the whole thing. People like think all the prank calls are set up and all that stuff. Like regular terrestrial radio, whatever they call it, you have to, those corporations made a decision, you have to let someone know if you're going to prank call them. So if I'm going to prank call you on the air, say I'm on like Rover's show or something, I'm going to prank call, I have to let you know, hey, listen, we're doing a prank call, which is stupid, so it defeats the purpose. But no, with that, you just tell them afterwards. After the call's done, you call them back, go, hey, we're just fucking around, we'd like to be on a show.
Oh, okay, so yeah, and that's like kind of what I was getting at.
That's always been the case like that you never tell them before, because then it's not a prank.
Oh, yeah.
And if someone knows it's a prank, they're not gonna, we want real reactions. You want a real reaction to a prank call from the other end, you know, to put a, you know, whatever tension's going on in the call or whatever. So if they know it's set up, then they're gonna try to act, and they're gonna be terrible because they're not actors.
And that's just the thing. I guess that's what I was getting to is, you said after the call, they would call back and be like, this is what was going on. How often were they like, I don't want to be any part of this?
I don't know. I mean, I think they probably got like 90% of it. They just said, hey, listen, be part of a show or whatever like that. People are usually cool about it. I don't know what the percentage was. I'm not there after I just do the calls. And then they figure it out later. But, you know, pretty much they get most of the calls. Most of the, you know, they say yes.
Well, the donut shop one was so great because the interaction between you and the guy on the other end, he was really playing well into it. Especially the part where you asked him if he ever sticks his pee-pee in the donut holes.
Right.
And he answered like, yes.
Yeah.
And it just, how often did you get stuff like that? Because it almost sounded like your character was a little taken back by the response.
No, it was a perfect time for me. I didn't get taken back because I was hoping he would say something like that. But that was a perfect time for me to go, all right, I got to go. I want to go talk to my mommy or whatever. I
said. Was.
Yeah. It was perfect for like a kid going, oh man, that's nuts. I'm gonna go talk to my mommy. So it was a good way to get off the phone. And nothing surprised me. I don't, you know, whatever they say, I just react to it.
And that's what I find interesting is because as I'm listening to the character and how you're doing the conversation, when you asked him that question and he goes, oh yes, and then you're like, I want my mommy, and then the phone call trails off. So it's like, that's why I was wondering, was it a natural point where you're like, oh, this is a perfect time to end this, or it's like, wow, I really don't know how to actually
I don't know. You just do it. You do the calls. Some of the calls are like 12 minutes long, and they cut them down to 3 minutes. They cut 9 minutes of fat out of the call. So you just keep on, stay on, and then you just pick the best stuff out and you edit it. Some of them are just, you know, you don't even have to do edits. Just a perfect call like that. So that was, for me, it was the perfect time to get out of it because it was getting, you know, monotonous, asking him how much the donuts were over and over again. But then when he said that, I'm like, this is a perfect time. I just made a decision at that moment. It's almost like a heckler on stage.
Right.
You just make a decision at that moment to say this or whatever, go in this direction. So.
Which is interesting, just how long they actually hold on to that conversation for. Because after about the fifth time your character says, it's time to make the donuts,
right.
It's like, wow, this guy really hasn't hung up on you guys.
Yeah, I know. That's the key, trying to keep him on the phone the whole time.
Have you ever gotten anybody in a call that just really went off on you, or just, you know, was like extremely pissed off?
Yeah, I mean, I guess, but you know, I always pretend like I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm like, look, I'm just trying to get the information. Sorry. So I never, like, you know, they don't know that I'm fucking with them, which is the key. Because if they know it, then they can go off on you.
Huh.
I'm stupid. Sorry.
Now, over to VH1, you were a co-host of VH1's That Metal Show. How long did you do that show for?
2008 to 15, about 7 years we're on.
What do you think of the deterioration or even the lack of music video television anymore? Like, no more real MTV, no more VH1 as of what it used to be back during, you know, the
it doesn't, but everyone, you just go to the YouTube, watch it on YouTube.
Right.
Everybody, you know, everyone's videos gets 1 million views the first day if your band puts out a video, so you just watch it there. It's actually easier because then you don't have to sit through commercials on TV to watch videos. You can just go right to, like, you know, Slipknot just put a new record out. They've just put 2 new videos out. I just go right to their YouTube page, and I watch it there, and I'm like, perfect. I don't have to sit through friggin' 7 minutes of commercials and hope to see the video. So it's actually better now. Which
it is. It's much better. It's so odd going from that period of your life when you would go on to watch TV and actually see music videos, see shows like that metal show or like I Love the 80s or all the other stuff that like MTV was putting out, and it slowly turned to reality television and more programming and less actual, you know, dealing with the music and the artists and stuff like that.
Right.
But then, you're right, along came YouTube and everything else we have now that's kind of just pushed it to the side, because I was just thinking about it yesterday. It's like, I can't remember the last time I watched like Comedy Central. You know, I have all the streaming services. If I want to watch something they have, I just go to that show itself and watch it. I don't actually, you know, watch channels.
Right.
It's kind of weird.
Yeah, I mean it is, but it's, you know, like I'll watch pro football and I can't, it's tough to sit through all the commercials because I'm not used to watching commercials anymore. So you watch the stuff on the streaming services or on YouTube, so it drives me nuts. So thank God it's not like that anymore. So imagine if MTV, if I wanted to see the new Slipknot video, I got to sit around and watch and hope they play it, because you never knew what they were going to play. If it popped up, it popped up. So I got to sit through some other shit just to hope, and then all the commercials. So it's a lot better now. You can just go right to YouTube.
Sweet. So I also on your bio it says that you're an author. I did not know that, and I didn't go any farther than that because I wanted to ask you. So, what have you written, and like how many books have you published?
I got one book out. It's just based on my podcast called Everybody Is Awful. It's just people posting stupid shit on social media that I make fun of, you know. They dump vacation pictures or their food pictures, you know. They got a restaurant that take pictures of their food. Like anyone would care.
Yeah, I'm guilty of that.
I'm not sure. I don't know what you want me to do with that you posted the hamburger you're eating. Like, when you post a picture of your food, like, what are you thinking? What's the response that you want back?
I mean, I guess when I do it, like I started doing it during the pandemic when I was cooking a lot, because I was kind of doing like a little cooking show online just to keep myself busy doing something. So it was usually, you know, stream the cooking I was doing, and then later on post pictures of whatever it was. And then I stopped doing that once I stopped doing the videos. But then after I got diagnosed with diabetes and I started, working on my diet for what my life changed. It's like, okay, this is how I'm controlling it. This is the kind of stuff I'm doing just to kind of show people these are the things you could do with diabetes and not have to just eat boring, shitty food all the time.
Right.
You know, you can actually have stuff that's enjoyable and it's not just, fucking tasteless, garbage.
Right, okay.
But as far as just being out at a restaurant and being like, oh, this looks good, and just snapping a picture of it, nothing like that.
Okay, well, that's basically what the book's on. It's based off my podcast, so.
Oh, sweet. And what's the name of your podcast?
Everybody's Awful.
Everybody's Awful. Check out his podcast. One of the things we do for this podcast is a lot of the stuff that we discuss, he's able to actually post it on the podcast, on the video, and show people links and stuff to where they can go check everything out.
Okay, good.
So, how long have you been coming here to the Funny Stop Comedy Club?
Probably 10 years now, I think.
Yeah, what's one of the things that makes you want to come back to this club? Because you do a lot of big clubs. You go all over.
2010.
2010, so
beat everybody.
2010, first time he came, 2010, it was the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in April. Second time he came, October 8, 2010.
So
it was in the newspaper last night. Somebody put Facebook put a memory from 2010. You were here same week, 6, 7, and 8.
I have it on mine.
My wife had it.
Wow.
On my Facebook.
So it sounds like you were up for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And
Yeah.
was it?
I just came in town to do it. No, I guess I was going to be here, so I went. I guess it was the same weekend or something. I don't remember, but so it's been 12 years.
Now, 'cause I always try to remember. Does that mean were you here when it was Hilarities at the old location, or is it you always just been
No,
at
but
this
here.
always this location?
Yeah. I would do that in the Improv. I never did Hilarities.
Yeah, because did you ever see the old club before it burned down?
No.
Yeah. Because I went there a few times, not to perform or anything like that back when I was younger, when me and my wife were dating, but I never got a chance to do that stage or, perform in that club. But it's just interesting because it's a very small, it's a small club. And he gets a lot of great people in here like yourself. And it's always interesting kind of seeing like TJ Miller. He was in town doing a movie, stopped into the club, and now he makes it a point to come back here. And not a lot of other clubs get an advantage of having people like you and him and stuff come into their clubs. So you're always great to have back here.
No, I like coming. Pete's great. His wife's great. The club, I like coming to the club. So, you know, we do it like once a year. It's perfect.
And I was at the end of August, we had Zumak on here.
Right.
I love the video shorts you guys did with the waiter.
Oh yeah. We got some more coming. We just filmed some new ones.
Yeah, that's what he was. So those are absolutely hilarious. My favorite is the you bring out the beer, you throw the lemon in it. Like,
Oh yeah. That we filmed that in Cleveland somewhere, some bar near the stadium. I remember. Yeah.
It's so true. Now I don't really drink anything. Like I don't get it. I used to be into IPAs and all that shit, you know. But all of it's just sugar and shit like that. Now, 90 some calories.
How much sugar now?
Oh, actually, only like maybe 3 carbs.
Okay.
That's it, and that's the kind of stuff I watch. I can't drink a lot. I drink a lot more clear liquor now.
Right.
You know, like gins and stuff like that. That's pretty much it. Now you said you're still doing Crank Yankers right now. Are you still doing the exact same 2 characters for?
Yep. Same characters. Everyone's doing the same characters.
What streaming service? I mean, it's Comedy.
It's on Comedy Central. There's no streaming service. It's on TV, actual TV.
All right, because I'm trying to remember which streaming service I have that has Comedy Central on it. I can't remember if it's Paramount or
I don't know.
One of those. But if I go to Comedy Central, it's on there specifically on the channel.
It should be somewhere. I don't know. You know.
We'll find out.
Yeah, it's there. So whatever. People will find it.
I see it on Pluto TV, which is a streaming service online, and it's free. And it has a Comedy Central network, but it has a specific channel with Crank Yankers on there.
Yeah, because it's so weird how all these different streaming services between Hulu, all of them, it's like share all these different channels. So.
Yeah, so it depends what show. Yeah, I didn't even know that was on Pluto TV. But yeah, I mean they must have worked out a deal and put it on there, and then sometimes it'll be on Hulu or who knows. So that's just how that shit works.
I just always find hilarious.
They don't keep us in the loop. I have no idea. That's the first I heard. I go, okay, so it's on Pluto TV. That's good to know.
Do you have any big projects you're working on? Anything coming up that's?
No, just going out doing the stand-up. So I just put a comedy special out a while ago, and I just put another prank call CD out. So I'm just working on a new set. Right
What's the name of the new comedy special?
Bite the Bullet. It's on Amazon.
Oh, that's right. It's
on Amazon Prime. You can rent it or buy it there. And then a series called Terrorizing Telemarketers, Volume 7 just came out. Where me and Don Jameson mess with telemarketers.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Don should be back in here. I can't remember if he was already in here or if he's coming back in here soon. Don's always in here. Love having Don around here. But hey, I'm glad you stopped by here to sit and talk with us. Like I said, it's not a long podcast. It's basically just getting to know whoever's headlining. And I was excited to just have you sit down for a second.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's get to know you a little better. But yeah, definitely come out anytime, at least once a year. Jim's here at the Funny Stop. This won't be airing until the beginning of November. So catch him next time when he's here. And he's on all social media. What do you think of TikTok? You have quite a decent following on there.
I don't know. I have a guy running for me, so I've never been on there. I won't even log in.
Really?
Yeah.
See,
I'm not 14, so but I guess it works. He cuts the stuff up, he puts it on, I give him stuff, and he's like, you should check it out sometime. I go, no, I'm good.
Yeah, I was just scrolling through it today, and I mean, first few videos I saw, millions of views.
Yeah, so I don't know, this guy knows what he's doing with it, so I'm like, all right, take it over, and then he just does it. I don't even know.
Yeah, nice. But so check Jim out, and thanks for watching the Funny Won't Stop podcast.